Man, it's good to be back and see all these familiar faces tonight. It was 5 times. I asked Shonda to join Party Light 5 times before I finally got the yes. So it's just, it's a great story to just remind us that we never give up, because things change or they just soften up to the idea of becoming a consultant, whatever. But I finally got the yes out of her. I'm so glad, aren't you? Yeah. So thank you, Shonda. I love you so much. I'm so glad to be with you guys. Bookings. I love your theme tonight. More green in 2016. I love that theme. Did you love Shonda's paychecks? Yeah. Do you want Shonda's paychecks?
Yes.
Yes. Did you like what you heard about the leadership side of Party Light?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, Shonda sort of led on to this, but let's just kind of go back and visit that. Everything does come from our parties. More customers, our future hostesses, our recruits come from our parties. That's our best opportunity to impact and influence a yes to join Party Light, is at our party. So our party is our vehicle for everything that we want from our business, for everything that we want in our life as far as financial freedom and choices and opportunities. Bookings. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is getting more bookings in today's market. I'm going to just maybe turn that on so that they can see the slides. I want to talk to you about getting more bookings and fewer cancellations in today's market. Some of you have been around a long time with me, and after I left Party Lights, I heard 20 years a number of times tonight. I'm 30 years in this industry, 30 years. And things have changed. One of the problems, though, is that so many of the speakers and trainers in our industry have not changed any of the messages of how to work our business today. They're teaching us to work our business the way they did 20 years ago, 30 years ago. One of the things that helps me to be a great speaker, a great coach, is the fact that I do coach about 35 hours a week. Leaders from different companies, different parts of the country, different product lines, different compensation plans, so that I know exactly what's going on in the industry today. Not when I was working it as late as 2005. Things have changed so much since 2005. For example, have you ever heard a speaker or a trainer say, you need bookings? Pick up the phone, make booking calls. You heard that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does anybody answer? Almost never. We don't talk on our phones today. We GPS, we Google, we surf the internet, we text, but we don't talk on the telephone anymore. So when people say, pick up the phone and make your booking calls, it's pretty much a waste of time. So we've seen a pretty serious decline in our industry. Everything is fixable. It's just we've got to do the right things to get different results, right? If we keep doing things that aren't working, we're not going to get different results. We've got to do what's working in today's market, and that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. Booking calls do not work. Did you write that down? We might get the occasional hello, but it is so infrequent that it's just not worth our time to make booking calls. So that's one of the things that is different today. One of the things I love most about my coaching clients is that when I talk to 35 people a week and I hear people saying the same thing all of a sudden, all at once, I know something's going on. So about 5 years ago, everybody I talked to for a 2-week period, all they wanted to talk about was bookings. Top leaders that had never had any trouble getting bookings before. People that were consistent bookers, but just on group calls, on coaching calls, all they wanted to talk about was bookings. We can't get them. And if we get them, they're canceling. Now, if you hear that from 1 or 2 people, you think, they're low booking slump. But when you hear that from every single person you talk to for 2 weeks, you know there's something going on in the industry. So I began to just interview people outside of Party Plan. What's going on? What would keep you from having a party today? What would make you want to have a party today? What would excite you to have a party today? And so here's what we discovered about 5 years ago. This is when we really saw that shift in the market, is that women had been adding, this is you too guys, by the way, women had been adding things to their plate for the last couple of years, maybe a little bit longer, and not taking anything off. And so we were trying to book a party with this really very busy woman. In fact, let's talk about that woman. She has 2 kids. that she chauffeurs to 3 programs each. She has a full-time full-time job. She cooks, she cleans, she grocery shops, she has her own interests. And we call and say, what do you think about having a party like party? And what does she say?
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding? It's just about right. Are you out of your mind? What is the most common objection that we have heard for the last many years? I'm too busy. We're trying to book a party with the busiest woman in the history of the world. That's who we're trying to book with. So we could have said 5 years ago, well, the industry is just kind of over as we know it. Nobody wants to have a party anymore. They're too busy. Or we could try and figure out, how do we get past this? How do we maximize it, in fact? How do we take this negative and turn it into a positive? And that's exactly what we did. We tested things and tested things. Thank you again for my coaching clients who will take some verbiage and take little things and say, go test this, see how it's working until we find out something is working. So tonight, when I say something is working, just know that it has been tested all over the country, all different companies, all different product lines. It's not just in this geographic area. It works everywhere, or I won't say, I promise you, this works. It's been thoroughly tested. So that's who we're trying to book. Is the busiest woman in the history of the world. In fact, it has become very clear through different articles and studies that we are reading today and seeing today that this is the busiest woman in the history of the world. She is also the most family-oriented woman in the history. And that's who we're trying to book a party with. So we discovered that free product is not going to get you a booking today. Outside of the party. Outside of the party. At the party, absolutely. They're there, they see it, they're just dazzled by the candlelight and the scents, the beauty of your product. Absolutely, at the party, they get excited. They want more than they can afford. It's fun, they're having a good time. We should do this again. At the party, yes. Outside of the party, no. Have a party, get free product. A lot of companies right now in January are having double hostess credit. It's not enough to get the booking. At the party, when you can say, you love all this, it's double hostess credit. You love all this, you can get this for $20. I mean, yes, at the party. Outside of the party, we need different language today. So when we're thinking about booking that busy woman, I want you to think fast, fun, and easy. Just stamp that on your forehead. They are desperate for something that is fast and fun and easy. They are stressed out, they're exhausted, they are ready to tip over the edge. That's who we're trying to book. So when we start to think and talk fast, easy, we're more likely to get a yes. These are the key messages that we have tested that are working today. Escape the chaos. Take a break from the madness. Enjoy a glass of wine with your girlfriends. Take a night off. Real live conversation. Now these have been tweaked the last year or so as we find that different phrases are working better. We change it, but right now, these are the phrases that are working. Real life conversation. So let me just sort of take you out of party life for a moment. I want you to imagine that, back up. I said that the phone isn't working anymore, but let me tell you what is working so that we can kind of carry on from here. What is working today is email, text, and Facebook. If you had asked me 5 years ago if email was still going to be around, I would have said no. It's going to go away. It's going to be taken over by Facebook, and who else knows, who knows what else, texting. But it is actually a really viable way to communicate today. We have so many friends on Facebook that those messages and posts get lost in the newsfeed. Email, they have to make a decision. Am I going to read this or delete it? And if they have a catchy subject line, they'll read it. They'll open it and read it. So right now, and this keeps shifting, until this summer, the number one place to communicate to people, to get the responses from them, was through text. It was Facebook, and then it was text. But this summer, we really saw a shift there to go back to Facebook. And I'm talking about chat. Chat is your new phone. Texting is your new phone. That's how people talk today. We can say, well, that's really socially inept. That's a terrible way to communicate. It doesn't matter what we think or how we feel. I've learned this the hard way. It only matters what works, right? So we can say, well, that's a terrible way to communicate. It's just not personal. They don't care. They don't care. So we've got to talk to them where they're communicating. And right now, the #1 place is on Facebook chat. Text is #2, and email is #3. And I've got some script. You want me up there so that.
Yeah, it would make it.
Poor Sean is like doing this. I'm sorry. I like to move around. I'm trying to plant.
Just don't go back here.
Okay, sorry.
Go everywhere else.
So now I'm going to take you out of your party-like world, and I want you to just imagine that you are at home and you're making dinner, and you get a text message from your Pampered Chef consultant. And she says, "Hey Shonda, I've been thinking about you, haven't seen you and your friends for a while, and I know how much you love the mandolin. We've got this great deal in February. It's normally $90, but if you have a party in February, you can get it for $35. What do you think?" Scenario #1. #2, "Hey Shonda, I've been thinking about you. I haven't seen you and your girls for, 6 months? I bet you guys haven't been together since before the holidays. Is it time for a girlfriend night? Glass of wine? Take a night off? Real life conversation? What do you think?" Did you almost sigh? Sign me up. Women and wine go together like women and chocolate used to. You pick up any article about women today, and somehow it's tied to wine. You know what? We'll start texting, or we'll get on Facebook chat and start talking to our girlfriend just so we can have wine together, right? So women love the idea of just getting together for a glass of wine. You could invite me to a brown paper bag party, and I could care less as long as I was going to be there with my girlfriends and have a glass of wine. I'm there. I couldn't wait. So it's hard as it is for us to wrap our head around it. It is not your product that's going to get them to book the party outside of a party, and it's not what's going to get them to attend the party. It's girls and fun and conversation, real live conversation. That's what gets the booking. And then we can book more and sell and sponsor, but we've got to get the booking first, right? So those are the messages that work today. And I got some scripts that I'm going to share with you at the end of this evening. So the next thing that we want to do to make it easy to get more bookings and fewer cancellations, I was just talking about some language, but we're going to talk about at the party in just a second, is make it easy to host. That's going to minimize our cancellations. There are some things that we can do to make having a party today easier for that host. One is, and I don't have time to train on this tonight, but one is to set up your Facebook event for your hostess. How many of you do that? Okay. One more question. How many of you use your personal page to market your business? Okay. That's where you need to market your business. Your personal page. It's another industry myth that you don't market your business on your personal page, you market it on your business page. I have never been to a direct seller's business page, and I have 3,000 direct selling friends on Facebook. When's the last time you went to your Pampered Chef's business page? You can use your personal page to drive them there, but we communicate, we live on our personal page. That's where they're going to follow you. And that's a whole other training. I'm just saying, we've got to do things different today. We've got to do what works, communicate where they live. So if we're going to make it easy for that host, we set up the Facebook event, we've got to help them create that list today. Gone are the days where we can say, here's Frank, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kid contacts at the top of the page, and here's 40 spots for you to write names in. Go ahead and fill it out, and that's your guest list. They won't even begin because she is the busiest woman in the history of the world. She won't even start. So we actually have to help them create that list today, just to show them how quick and fast they can come up with that list. So when we're going through the packet with them, or when we're chatting with them, doing our hostess coaching, can you think of 3 friends? Don't have to be your best friends, just 3 friends. Good, go ahead and write that down. Can you think about 3 relatives? And I'm going to help them even jog their memory further. Your aunt, your sister-in-law, your cousin, your mom. Good, go ahead and write those down. 3 acquaintances, your hairdresser, your nail person, somebody you know from church, 3 acquaintances. Do you see how I'm still jogging from memory even beyond just saying acquaintance? 3 neighbors, and then 3 kid contacts, soccer team, PTA, Girl Scouts. And then we mix it up, 3 friends, relatives, your best friend's mom or sister-in-law, 3 relatives, friends, your mom's co-worker, friend from church. And we just keep mixing up until we help them come up with a name of about 30 names. That's going to take you less than 5 minutes. And then you can say, see how easy that was? Now just go to your phone, look at your contacts, and you'll think of a lot more. Go on Facebook and look at your friends on Facebook, and you'll think of a lot more. So we have to actually help them create a list today. This is more important than ever, really coaching them to keep their snacks simple. We've all had that party where they serve lasagna and cheesecake and Caesar salad and red wine, and attendance is amazing because they know they're going to be fed so well. But how many bookings do you get? I mean, it was bad before, it's even worse now when we're so busy. So it really hurts our bookings, but we always, if we want our hosts to do what we ask them to do, we have to make it all about them. I want this to be fun, fast, and easy for you. So just keep it simple. Wine and cheese, or cookies and coffee. Just keep it really simple. And you're gonna get more bookings that way, if you do. More booking credit. Simple snacks. That wish list, even though it is not enough to get the booking today, it's sort of a tie down, meaning that it helps to secure that booking once we've got it. $100 in free product or 3 half-price items is kind of vague, but when they tie that dollar amount to something tangible, they're more excited to have their party. They're more committed to making that happen. So we still need to get that wish list today. Keep your contacts short and to the point because we are talking to the busiest woman. So we don't need to talk about the dog and the kids and the weather, just get right to it. Get right to the coaching when we're actually doing the host coaching with them. Keep it short. Remind her of what she's getting for having a party all the time. They forget. Do you know we have to hear something 7 times before it settles in? 7 times. I have personally coached Martine for 8 years, every Wednesday at 10. And she will consistently say things to me. Have you ever told me that? You ever said that to me? About 850 times, Martine, and we just laugh about it because we just know that we have to hear it over and over. So she's going to forget what she's getting. Make sure you remind her of that so she stays excited. Rapport and relationship. People are more committed to you. They're less likely to cancel if they like you. So build some rapport with them. It's an easy thing to do. Call them by name. People love to be called by name. Tell them what a great job they're doing. Give them genuine compliments at every opportunity. You're so easy to work with. I love that you call me right back. I'm having so much fun working with you, and you're actually planting little sponsoring seeds as you do that. Keep those key messages in front of your host all the time as you're reaching out to her through text and email and Facebook. I bet your friends are getting so excited about their night off and a glass of wine and real life conversation. They're gonna be so glad you did this for them. It just takes their head away from, oh my gosh, I'm asking my busy friends to come over and, I'm gonna, taking their time when they're so busy. It takes the hostess's head to a place where this is something I'm doing for them. Doing them a favor. So keep those messages in front of them. And by the way, when you are coaching, Carly and I were just talking about this on the way over here, because she's a brand new consultant herself, and we were just talking about that host coaching thing. And so I was sharing with her that when you're coaching your hostess to invite her guests, you want her to use that same language. You don't want them to just say, I'm having a party-like party next Thursday, I hope you can come. You want her to say, hey girl, I haven't seen your face in like 3 months. I got a glass of wine with your name on it. You're coming, right? You want to give her the words to say to invite her guests. So now let's talk about getting more parties at parties. Oh, I want to just kind of back that up. Let's talk about getting more parties from our parties. Let's say that we have 4 parties on our calendar for February. Write these numbers down because it's important that we see the stats here. If we have 4 parties booked in February and we book 1 party at each of those, how many do we have into March?
4.
Do you feel like you're doing like those math problems at school? 4. Now with cancellations, that number's, and that's a part of our business, they're going to happen. With cancellations, that number's going to drop to 3, right? Okay, we book one party at each of those. 3. How many do we have booked into April? 3. We have 1 cancellation. We booked, so we're down to 2. We hold 2 parties, book 1 from each of those parties. How many do we have booked into May?
2.
1 cancels. And so that's how we get really excited. I got a booking, we get really excited. But 1 booking per party actually takes our calendar backwards. Now let's take that same 4 in February. And we book 2 parties at every party. How many do we have for March? 8. To cancel, we're at 6. We book 2 from each of those into June. Right, June? No, where was I at? April. You see why you're writing this down? I can't even keep it straight. So we booked 2 at each of those into April. How many do we have? 12. 2 cancel, or 3, and we're down to 9 or 10. Book 2 at each of those. How many do we have next month? 18. 1 more party booked per party doubles our calendar. 1 actually takes us into decline. Now imagine if you were able to book 3 or 4 or 5 parties from those parties. How exciting leadership. How exciting would that be, getting in front of all of those people? So if we're going to get those multiple bookings from our parties, then number 1, we have 30 minutes of presentation time. Why are those ladies there? To be with their friends, to have a glass of wine, and to talk, right? So they know that there's going to be a presentation. They're ready for that. They'll give us 30 minutes, and then after that, they start to get a little bit fussy with you. So just think, 30 minutes, that's all I've got. We can cover a lot of ground in 30 minutes. And what's our mantra? Fun, fast, and easy. And booking the party, making the idea of having a party sound fun, fast, and easy. Making being at a party fun, fast, and easy. If those guests are there, and they're thinking, this is fun. She was really fast. Are they more likely to book? If your party is fun, fast, and easy, does your job look easier? Yes? Are they more likely to join? Okay, so we have 30 minutes max. Let's talk about how we can make that party fun for the guests. What are some things that we can do at our parties that will get us multiple bookings at that party? Mary Overton shared this idea with me years ago, and I have been sharing it ever since, and it's still a very popular party. Every time I share this, like, oh my gosh, I got 3 bookings last night with your 511 party. It stands for, and I do give Mary Overton credit. 511 stands for the hostess invites 5 guests. Each guest brings 1 guest. That's 10. And you promise to be in and out in an hour. Is that optimum? No. But would you rather have a party and be in and out in an hour than not have a party at all?
Right. Yeah.
So that will get you a booking with somebody that doesn't want to do a 2-hour thing, like an office party, or an after-work party, or we're just going to be here for an hour and then I want them to be able to go home and hang out with their family at night. If that gets you a booking, isn't that better than not? These are especially popular in the summertime when people want to go home and sit on their deck with their hubby and whatnot. Theme parties. I want to hang here for just a second. Theme parties, number 1, theme parties will get you higher attendance than non-theme parties. On January 2nd, I did a Seahawks Supergirl party. Now, if you follow me on Facebook at all, you know I'm an absolute Seahawks freak. I'm a football freak. I watch more football than any man I know. So, my boyfriend will attest to that. It's like, 10 hours of football again. So we did a Seahawks Supergirl party, and my attendance was great. We had 9 people there on January 2nd. Wow. And so that was the theme, and they could either come in full Seahawk gear or superhero costumes. You are never going to get me in a superhero costume, I'm just saying. But I know that my Gen Y girls, those 25 to 35-year-olds, I've seen their pictures on Facebook at Halloween. And what were they wearing? Batman, Supergirl.
Shannon Moment, just saying.
That was on like January as in America.
So we had fun with that. Theme parties will get you attendance, higher attendance than non-theme parties. Giving people ideas for different kinds of theme parties that they can have will get you a booking that you might not have gotten. A pajama party, oh my gosh, I never even thought about a pajama party. My friends would love that. I'll have a party. They've never had a party in their life, but oh, I like that idea. So I wanted to hang here for a second because I wanted to take you to the Gen Y generation. The 25 to 35-year-olds. We need different age groups of people at our parties. We need the 25 to 35-year-olds to sponsor. We need the 25 to 40-year-olds to book. And we need the 40 to 60-year-olds to buy. The 40 to 60-year-olds have disposable income. Their kids are out of school or getting close. They have more disposable income. They're your big sellers. Big buyers. The 25 to 40-year-olds are your bookers. Say this back to me. This is not black and white.
Not black and white.
Because I know you're going to go home and say, I had 5 people at my party last night, or I had 10 people at my party last night, but they were all like 50s, and so I didn't even talk to them about having a party. Sherry said, they're the wrong group. This is not black and white, but when we talk about trends, patterns, the 25 to 35-year-olds are your sponsors, the 25 to 40-year-olds are your bookers, and the 40 to 60-year-olds are your buyers. That's the trend. Okay, let me just pause here for one more second. If I was to go in the field again, I would go after those 25 to 35-year-olds with a vengeance to sponsor. When we look at any iconic company, Party Light, Scentsy, Origami Owl, 31 Guests, Unique, Pampered Chef, whether they are currently iconic or just were in their heyday, every single one of those was built by 25 to 35-year-olds. Every single one. How old were you when you built your giant organization? 30. Every single one. So if I was going in the field with Party Light today, I would go get Carly. And I would go get every other 25 to 35-year-old I could find because they are your builders. They're the people that build big organizations. Now say it again to me. This is not
Black and white.
Thank you. I had this lady at my party, but she was 45. She wanted to sign up, and I said, nah. You're never going to be a builder. There are going to be people at the top that get to senior regional vice president that are 18 and 20 and 60. But en masse, your builders, if you want to build a giant organization, if you want people on your team that are movers and shakers, they have more energy, let's just face it. But they're also fresh. It's like, it's a whole new thing to them. There's no baggage, it's a brand new business for them. They are coachable. And the Gen Ys today are the most social generation ever. They are the most entrepreneuristic generation ever. Are those people you want on your team? Is that the kind of person that you want to sponsor? Okay, I want to park there for just a second because if we're going to go, get those, if we're going to draw them to our parties, if we're going to book them, if we're going to sponsor them, Gen Ys are a little bit different, and they love theme parties. They are going to dress up in 80s to get together to watch The Bachelor. My daughter Jillian, there's like 25 pictures on her Facebook page, and there's 20 girls got together, and they're all dressed in 80s. They do disco parties, they do black and white parties, they do, you name it. So they love theme parties. So let's talk about theme parties at our parties so that we're gonna get those people at our parties. So again, that Gen Y thing is not, thank you, all right. We'll sponsor anybody that can put those parties on their calendar, and get started, right? But I would just proactively go after them if I wanted to build giant. Okay, so theme parties, let's be talking about those. They make your parties fun, we'll get more bookings. We can think about what's going on this month. We're moving into February. What kind of a theme could we tie to February? Valentine's Day? St. Patrick's.
Walking Dead.
Zombie party, that's one comes back,
Okay.
absolutely.
I was just having trouble tying that to Valentine's Day. Oh, okay. Got it. Sorry, I'm
Super
sorry.
Bowl.
Thank you. I mean, did it really take a man to come up with
Yeah.
Okay. Super Bowl party, okay. And then we go into March, and here's your cue. St. Patrick's Day, right? Yeah. So what's going on in this particular month that we can tie a theme to? When we talk about theme parties at our parties, just give them a few ideas. Don't give them 50, because the confused mind just says no. So just give them a few. And then I learned this from my friend Martine. She said, so when I'm going up and I'm getting their date scheduled on my calendar, I'll say, I have this little handout, and I hand it to them, and I'll say, these are my 4 top themes this month. Which one would you like to do? Not, would you like to do a theme? These are my 4 top themes this month. Which one would you like to do? And she said, they pick one. Okay, good. So what's going on this month? And tie it to a theme. Restaurant parties. When I was in the field, I did a restaurant party every week. You talk about fun, fast, and easy, no cooking, no cleaning. Everybody gets together, we can have a glass of wine, we can have some snacks. It's short, you're in and out in an hour. I love those. Co-host, your house, her snacks. I mean, not your house, but you know what I'm saying. 2 hostesses. So they just, one has snacks, one has, that uses their house, and you get twice the attendance. 2 people inviting. Office party, if you're not talking about office parties at your parties, for those of you that are able to do parties during the day, you're missing the mark. These are popular today. And to sell that at your parties, you say, how about an office party? How often do we take our lunch, go to the break room, and talk about work, that annoying patient, that irritating customer? Let's do something fun at lunch. You guys can have a potluck, you can order pizza, I'll bring my candles, we can smell and sniff and see some beautiful product. Something fun and fast and easy, something different. They're really popular, so take advantage of those. Okay, so now let's talk about some more ideas that will make your parties even more fun and engaging. First, party cards. And I don't know if you're familiar with my party cards or not, but they're on my website. I have them with me. Connie's got them at the back table. I'm not going to go through them all tonight with you, but I just want to give you an idea of how they work. We want to engage our audience. The day of the 30-minute monologue where we talk and they listen is just gone. They're stressed out, they're exhausted, they're overwhelmed. We have to engage them or we lose them. Keep it interactive. So that's exactly what the party cards do. So the way they work, I'm going to yell for a second. There's 10 cards for you and 10 cards for your guests. They look exactly the same on the front. The front says, star of the show. So I'm going to pass out the guest cards, 1 to each guest, and I keep 10 for myself. They're exactly the same on the front, but you can see they're different on the back. So I'll pass these cards out, and I'll just say, okay, so who has party card number 1? I do. Fantastic. What does the front of your card say? She says star of the show. So here's hers, and there's her back, and there's my back. My card tells me, bring the hostess up front and thank her. I don't even have to think anymore. It just tells me what to do. What else does your card say? It says, ask the hostess about her wish list. What do you want, Shonda? What are you going to get for free? She tells me. What about your half-price items? She tells me. Shonda just shared our hostess plan. What did they hear? What their friend wants to get. So these cards plant 24 booking seats and 32 sponsoring seats for you. You wouldn't even recognize them if you look through the cards. They're that subtle. So it does that for you, but they want you, and they say, that looks easy, she's just reading cards. We want them to say that. When people say, oh my gosh, you are the best consultant we've ever had, they mean that as a genuine compliment, but if we read through the lines, what are they really saying? I can't do what you do. Exactly. So we want to be, so I'm sort of going off on sponsoring tangent here, but so these not only engage them, they make your job look easy, they plant all these booking seats for you, and then other piece of the back of her card says pick a product. So they pick a piece of product off the table, or you can pick it, it doesn't matter. We talk about it and we move on. It just keeps us going. We are done in 30 minutes. We've gone through all 10 cards and we're done. One of the cards is 9 ways to do a party. She reads the idea, you tell her what it says, and you don't even have to think about it because your card tells you what to say about that. So there's all kinds of recruiting and sponsoring seeds and booking seeds in there for you in a really fun, engaging way. So there's the party cards. The gift bag party. How many of you know what the gift bag party is? Raise your hand really high. Okay, not very many of you. The gift bag party, I love this. My friends here in this room will attest to this. You could give me 4 days to set up a pretty display, and it would still look terrible. It's just, Shonda is sad. So I love the gift bag idea. Number one, my number one prospect to sponsor is my hostess. She's the one that's gonna watch me set up. And so if I'm carrying in 6 loads, and then I try and say, watch what I do tonight and see how easy it is. Do you have a towel I could wipe my sweat off with? We need to be in and set up in one trip in 10 to 15 minutes, or less, if we want to be sponsoring. So the gift bag party I love because the idea is this. We take 10 gift bags, and I just put one of my party cards in the bag. So gift bag number 1 would be card number 1. Gift bag number 2 had card number 2. Or you can put a clue in there. You could put a star in bag number 1 to remind you to talk about the hostess being the star of the show. You could put an empty votive holder in bag number 2 to talk about our wax liquefying and evaporating, a product clue. You could put a credit card in bag number 3 to remind you to say the average household credit card debt is $13,000. Party Light might be a fun way to eliminate that. So it's hostess, product, sponsor. Host, sponsor, host, product, sponsor. A party hat to say every time I go to work, it's a party. A couple of wine glasses to remind you to say, are we having fun tonight or what? Shonda, thank you so much for giving us a night off and a chance to have a glass of wine with girlfriends. You're the best. So before they even start to think about, I don't want to pressure my friends to have to come and spend money, they're already thinking about having a party as a chance for their girlfriends to have a night off. So clues, and then of course each gift bag has a piece of product in it. That's the best part of this, is that you just walk in with 10 gift bags, you set them down on the coffee table or the floor, and you are set up. So no fancy display. And for those of you that do beautiful displays, I know you're breaking out in hives right now. I know. I know. What? No display? It just depends on if we want to sponsor or sell. You want to sponsor or sell. We make conscious decisions based on what we really want from that party. We want our job to look easy. You are hilarious is code for I can't do what you do. You are so creative is code for I can't do what you do. We can be fun, but that's different than hysterical. So I know I'm going off on tangents, I apologize. Less product, more booking seeds. And again, this comes from, what do you want from your party? Do you want a lot of bookings? Do you want some sponsors? Or do you want to sell product? Somehow we think that the more product we take, the more we will sell. It's not true. The confused mind just says no. I had a friend that went to work at a jewelry company. She was a consultant for a jewelry company. And I watched this woman my friend carry in 6 trips of jewelry. It's jewelry. I mean, jewelry, right? And then she covered my entire dining room table, and I have a big one, with jewelry. And she said, my presentation is 15 minutes. It was 45. But she thought she talked for 15 minutes. My friends are big earners. They're top leaders in this industry. So I had a bunch of big earners, for her to sell to. And they walked around that table, and they walked around that table, and they tried on jewelry, and they said, I just can't decide, so I'm just gonna get this. The confused mind just says no. Ever walk into Target? At Target, TJ Maxx. And there are 17 rows of purses as you walk in. You want a red one? There's 45 to choose from. I mean, I am a purse freak, and so I just, I walk up and down these aisles and I can't decide. But when I'm over in the middle of the room and they've got this display with this outfit and the purse and the jewelry, and it's all by itself, I'll take that one. And the whole outfit that goes with it, because it just all goes together. But all of those purses just overwhelms me. Well, what if they want to see something and I don't have it at my party and they won't buy it because they haven't seen it? It's a $100 item. Guys, I mean, think about your catalog. You would need a U-Haul to take everything that you carry to your parties. You can't take everything. So if they want to see something that you don't have, you can just say, I don't have it with me tonight, but I could bring it to your party. Leave them a little bit curious. If they saw everything tonight, why would they even go to another party? I mean, that's the beauty of TJ Maxx. You never know what you're going to see when you go in there. It changes every day. You go into Costco, and if you don't buy it today, it's gone tomorrow, right? So keep them a little bit curious. All right, let's talk about product. We'll talk about booking seats. And then have fun at your parties. If you're having fun, so are they. You don't have to be hilarious. I don't have a witty bone in my body. But I had so much fun at my parties. Just, we laughed a lot, but it was usually at me. So you have fun. I can remember being at a candle party, and we had those 8-pound 3-wicks, right? And I had a candle stand, and like you, I lit the candle as soon as I got there so that I would have this nice pool of liquid green, forest green wax right on top of my hostess's cream-colored carpet. And I'm leaning over to pick up something off my table, and yes, my rear end hit the candle stand, and it just toppled over. And there was glass and green, beautiful wax all over her cream-colored carpet. And I said, Terry, I know exactly how to get that up. Don't worry about it. I'm going to have this cleaned up before I leave. And I just kept talking. I mean, you got to know my heart was just pounding, right? But I just kept talking. She was a Mary Kay consultant. She said, I will never have another party with anyone else. Anybody that can keep a straight face after that is like my hero. But we laughed all throughout the party, like, sure, you get kind of close, step away, like don't get close to the flames. And then I talked about it at my next party. Watch my rear end because I tend to get close to candle stands and knock them over. So just keep, they'd be like, Sherry, you get too close. So we laughed, but mostly at me. Engage your audience. Ask them questions. Your guests can sell your product better than you can. They're more credible. They're not trying to sell anything. You are. I was at a kitchenwares party, and this consultant is talking about her mandolin and talking about her mandolin and talking about her mandolin. It's a $90 item. She wanted us to buy it. And I'm thinking, oh, good Lord, move on. We get it. And no intention of buying it, but somebody next to me said, I have that. I use it every single week. It's awesome. Really? Okay, I'll take one. Tickets. I used to put a string of tickets around my neck that went down to the floor on both sides, and I would give them away for everything. For showing up, for cute shoes, for bringing a friend. I love your haircut. That's a darling purse. That's a great idea. I love that suggestion. That's a great question. Tickets for everything. And then double tickets at the question and answer period when they were asking me about my job. Then double tickets for that. Keeps them engaged. Rapport. People like you best when you see the good in them. So that ability to notice good things about people, compliment them on it, and it can start out with just, I love your shoes, I love your haircut, great bag. And then as the evening progresses, you get to know them a little bit. I'm so glad you're here, you are so much fun. I love your smile, or just anything that you can compliment them on that's genuine. That builds rapport. Asking them questions. I won't go into a lot of detail here, but people love to talk about themselves. Love, love, love to talk about themselves. The flip side is they don't want to hear anything about you. They don't. So the better we get at asking them questions and letting them talk about themselves, the more they like you. Are you coming from home or work? Oh, work. Where do you work? How long have you been there? What do you do? How's that commute? Oh, you're coming from home. Are you a stay-at-home mom? How many kids do you have? What do you guys do for fun? How do you know the host? Just questions, let them talk about themselves. They'll like you better. Compliment, call them by name, ask questions. People will tend to book with people that they like. Don't be rigid in your routine. This really comes up mostly with skincare companies where it's like, oh, we can't have any snacks or any wine until after we're done because we gotta wash your feet, then we gotta wash your hands, then we gotta do this. They have this really rigid routine. So just go with the flow. If they wanna have a glass of wine and snacks while you're talking, let them talk. And then really important, don't sweat the conversation. Why are women getting together at your party?
For
fun, right? For conversation. So there are going to be sidebar conversations while you're talking. There just is. Don't worry about it. The worst thing we can do is, ladies, come back. Focus. Did we mention rapport? You just killed it, right? So none of that. Just keep talking, smile, be engaging. They'll come back to you. They just want to visit for a second. They might be talking about that candle holder that you just talked about and how much they love it. We don't know what they're talking about, but whatever it is, just let them chat. They'll come back to you. Play a booking game. So when I talked about theme parties, and now I'm going to talk about booking games, what I discovered when I was in the field is that it didn't matter at all what I liked. It only mattered what they liked and what worked. So you could not pay me enough money to get in a car, in a costume, and go to a party. But my Halloween parties were my highest attended parties all year. I had 25, 30 people there. They loved getting dressed up and coming to parties. So does it matter what I would do? No, it only matters what works. Booking games. I hear people say, oh, I never play a booking game. I don't like booking games. I'm telling you, you are missing the boat. If I was at your party, I would not play. I wouldn't. But that's me. It's not the masses. They love booking games. They get into it. It's fun for them. Just know that a booking game is not a decision maker. It's a tipping point. So we've got to do the things ahead of time that get them closer to a yes, move them closer to a yes. Booking seeds, showing groupings so they want more than they can afford to buy. Talking about the fun. Stack the hostess. Stack the hostess is one of the most powerful things you can do to move people closer to a yes. How many of you are doing stack the hostess? Okay then, we're gonna stop right here and talk about this for just a second. It is one of the most powerful things you can do to move people closer to a yes. Stack the hostess works like this. Would you be my pretend hostess?
Yeah.
I'm just role playing. I'm at a party. Would you be my pretend hostess?
Yeah.
Great. I just want to show you ladies tonight what you get for having a party-like party. Are you ready? Because it's amazing. Okay, so just go ahead and put your hands out for me. First thing that you get is, I'm going to just pick a number. 3 half-price items, okay? So I'm going to right now pick the most expensive things up off my table. Not the candle stand with the 8-pound liquid wax candle in it. But I'm going to pick up something really expensive and I'm going to put this in your hands, right? You've probably taken 2 hands now, right? So you can have this. And it doesn't matter, you don't even have to say the price there. You can just say, this is one of our higher priced items, so you know, it's a great one to get half price. If you do, you can say you could have this for 50 instead of 120 or 100. Did I say that out loud? Half price. Instead of 120. Wait 50% off 120 and get one. So, okay, then you another great half price item is this. And your hands are full. Would you mind helping around? Okay, so then for your third half price item, you could have this. But that's not all. See, women don't think in dollars and percents. So when you say $100 in free product, it means nothing to them. 3 half-price items, it means nothing to them. Now this is visual, and we're visual people too. So now I'm going to talk about, do we still have booking gifts? Okay, so then I'm going to talk about, you know, when you book a party, and you book a party, and you book a party, you get this for whatever.
Yeah.
I should know this, but I don't. So I'm going to put that booking gift in your hands. But that's not all. You're also going to get about 100, is it still 100? About $100 in free product. Now I'm going to pick my least expensive items off the table. I'm trying to get more product in their hands, right? So, and don't worry if you don't know the exact prices. They don't either. Yes. So you get this, and you get this, and I'm just going to, and so you're full. I gotta say, would you, I mean, we can't even you can't even hold everything that you get for having a party. So to fill you up. And that's what you get for having a party-like party. So what do you think? So we've planted booking seeds. We've given them different ideas on the kinds of parties they can have. We've given them some theme ideas. We do Stack the Hostess. And smack dab after I did Stack the Hostess, I would play my booking game. So again, it doesn't matter if you like booking games, they work. So we want to play booking games. We do. You will always get more bookings when you play a booking game than if you don't. I have a contract with a company right now that I'm working very extensively with, and they weren't playing booking games. And they're a high ticket item, so they were making sure that everybody in attendance was 50 or older. We changed a few things. And now they're playing booking games and their calendars are exploding and they're getting all the different age groups there. The bookers, the buyers, the sponsors, they're getting them all there, and we're seeing really different results. But they would say the same things. I don't like booking games. Okay, do you want multiple bookings? You need to play a booking game. It's a tipping point, not a decision maker. We have to do those things that get them thinking about it. So we say, okay, now it's time for the funnest part of my party. We're gonna play a little game of chance. They're already thinking about it and they're closer to a yes. So I'm gonna model for you a booking game. There are a lot of them out there, and I think that they all work. But the one that worked the best for me and the one that I see the best results with is the dice game. So we have 11 envelopes here, and they're numbered 2 through 12. And then we also, and they have cards in them. And some of the cards say win a prize, one says the grand prize, and some say book a party. And the grand prize, you decide what it is. It needs to be a $25 to $35 value to move them to play. So perceived value, $25 to $35. And if you haven't already romanced it, you want to talk about the grand prize when you get to it in the game. So I'm just going to role play this booking game for you. I've just done Stack the Hostess, and so now I'm going to say, so that's what you get for having a party like party. It's amazing, isn't it? All right, so it's time for the funnest part of my party. And I know funnest isn't a word, but it works in our business. It's time for the funnest part of my party. We're going to play a little game of chance. And I'm going to explain this to you, so would you mind holding my dice while I explain how this works? I have 11 envelopes here. And in these envelopes are cards, and some of the cards say win a prize. One of the cards says grand prize, and tonight our grand prize is, and some of the cards say book a party. So really, how can you lose? You either get a little prize, you get a big prize, or you get another night off with your girlfriends and another glass of wine and another opportunity for real life conversation. So when you roll the dice, you choose to play and roll the dice, I'm going to give you the corresponding envelope. They're numbered. So you roll 3, I'm going to give you envelope number 3. And then after everybody's, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to hurry because God is giving me like you're almost out of time sign. So you roll and I will give you the corresponding envelope. Okay, so that's how we play. Now here's the rules. If you decide to play and you get the envelope, you have to keep the prize. If it says keep a prize, get a prize, you have to keep it. If you get the grand prize, you have to keep the grand prize. And if you get book a party, you have to party. Who said that? They did. When you say you have to book a party, there's something not right there. But when you say you have to, they respond. They say book a party and they laugh. Now it's fun. A booking game has to be fun, and the dice game is the game that took my calendar from 13 to 36 in 30 days, and I had 50 on my calendar in 60 days. And from that point on, I would do my 10 to 15, and I'd give the rest away to my team. Never worry about bookings again, the magic booking game. Okay, so that's how we play, and that's the rules. So, your name is?
Kathy.
Kathy, you have the dice in your hand, so do you want to take a chance, or do you want to pass?
I'll take a chance.
I just knew you would because you're so much fun. Everything they do that you want them to do, you affirm. I just knew you would, you're so much fun. Okay, so that I'm affirming that behavior because I want everybody else to do it. I also put the dice in her hand when I started. Will you hold the dice while I explain the rules? It's not because I can't talk and hold the dice, although I bet you're wondering about that right now. It's not that, it's just that she doesn't have to make a decision now. She's already got the dice in her hand, so she's more likely to play. Okay, so she rolls, I give her the matching envelope, and I take the dice. I don't just say, does anybody want to play? Nobody will play. I say, I've got the dice. Do you want to get it started? Do you want to take the chance and play? Sure, I'll play. You're so much fun. And so then I go to Sabrina, and I say, Sabrina, what do you want to do? You want to take a chance, or do you want to pass?
I'll
She won't though. I mean, it's okay. I know you're being the devil's advocate, but because she's played and I said you're so fun, almost 100% of the time, Sabrina will say,
I really would play.
yeah. Sabrina will say, I'll play, and then I'm gonna say, oh my gosh, I love this group. You guys are so much fun. So when I take the dice from Sabrina and I go to this lovely lady that's taking a picture,
Yeah.
she does not want to not be the only fun person. So she's gonna play. So I go around and let everybody pass or play, right? And then I'm gonna come back to, I've already forgot your name, sorry. I'm gonna come back to Kathy, and I'm gonna say, okay, I have a second chance. Before you open your envelopes, if you decide to book a party in the next 30 days, say that back to me. Because that's a really important piece, not in June. If you decide to book a party in the next 30 days, I will give you the grand prize for sure at your party. So Kathy, do you want to take a chance on your envelope, or do you want to book a party in 30 days and get the grand prize for sure?
I'd book a party.
I knew you would because you're fun and smart. I love you. See, she's catching. I'll just do it. See, you are so smart. You guys are fun and smart. This is such an awesome group. Now, she doesn't want to be the only stupid one either. She doesn't want to not be stupid, so she's going to play. Now, do people sometimes pass? It's okay. But do you see how I'm just making this fun and engaging with them? And if we are fun and engaging, it's good. The second we get serious about a booking game, we lose them. The second. And if they say, I'll pass, we just say, okay, and we go to the next person. No big deal. But their friends will probably say, what? You chicken, you spoil sport. I mean, they'll tease them. All right, I'll play. You know? And the other thing is, when you go to, when your presentation is over, go straight to them. Those people that said they would book a party in 30 days were those that got the book a party card and get them booked before you do anything else. Go straight to them. Get them on your calendar. And if for some reason they say, I'm not having a party, I just played the game, we just say, okay, and we move on. Don't fret over it. It will be so rare. If we are doing the right things to move them closer to a yes, and the booking game is just the tipping point, and they're booking a party to get the grand prize in 30 days for the most part anyway, we know they're going to have the party because they want that grand prize. It's going to be so rare. Okay, so I'm almost done. I just want to, before I wrap up here, I want to go through some specials that we have on sale for you guys today, or on special for you guys. Was that helpful?
Yeah.